Okay, so here's some additional information that I uh, didn't mention in the last video when you were talking about PanNPC. Remember, I'd gone over here to take a look to see if there were any archives. All right, so Pack Attack NPC, and the mod author didn't have any, archives, which would have like scripts, textures, nifs, things like that. It's like a it's a resource archive. And I was thinking to myself as I was talking, believe it or not, and I was thinking, wow, okay, there has to be some scripts associated with PanNPC because the injections would occur in a script. It would not be necessarily a conditional in and of itself. And I was thinking, okay, now Fallout 4 would not include external scripts if they also allow them to be compiled within an ESP or an ESM inside of a plugin. So I thought, okay, that's kind of strange. So then I thought, okay, let me take a look at PanNPC. So I go over here and I'm like, let's take a look at the mod that I installed. So let's find PanNPC. All right, so you can see where I actually installed the stable version of PanNPC. So now I can see where the scripts are because he has included them as loose files. So for like for conflict's sake or in regards to conflicts, these scripts seem to be unique to PanNPC. So in other words, Fallout 4 would not have an official or a native script that starts out PanNPC, which is actually Pack Attack NPC. So there's a good chance that these particular scripts do not conflict with any of the official files. You can take a look at one of these. I'm using a thing called PEX Inspector, and I basically just launch it with the script. So you take a look, or launch it and then send to it the script as a parameter. But you can take a look in here where you can see, let's see if there's a default. Here we go. If we take a look at this, there's different parts of the code. This is actually a decompiled script. So PEX Inspector lets me decompile the actual script to take a look at it. So if, for example, someone says, okay, this script might be calling something or overriding something, I might be able to find out if it's actually trying to override an official script, extends it. Now, I haven't looked at this, so I don't want to really say too much on it just yet. It looks pretty comprehensive, so it's giving me variables, things like that. It looks fairly well written, really well written. Really well written actually. Um, so yeah, so I'm not really sure, but that would be something else you would need to check. Would be loose files. Unfortunately, I don't have, because I realized after I'd said it that I don't actually check for loose files associated with this particular plugin. Although it's not too hard to do because I know where this plugin came from. I do know that it comes from that folder. So I could easily have checked for it, but I did not. But I wanted to show you this because it wasn't incorrect, but it definitely wasn't complete information. So there is scripts involved, but they do not look like they cross paths with anything official. However, if you have things like SS2 trying to change, like remove or add dynamically AI packages to a settler, and PanNPC is also trying to do that, you have two different scripts that are basically fighting each other to give an NPC a behavior to do. So if there's an attack and a settler is going to act a certain way, then PanNPC or Pack Attack NPC will pick it up, and then I don't know. I think SS2 would. I'm just guessing now that it would more than likely handle it by trying, once the settler is out of combat or alert state, to put it back in its default package, which would be, to go back to whatever it is they were doing. And now that I think about that, I don't really see how that would. I don't see how SS2 could necessarily affect that, like a settler's behaviors, unless it's dynamically flipping them back and forth, trying to trying to achieve 100% happiness by saying, okay, I'm going to move you to this, now I'm going to move you over to this, I'm going to move you over to this, something like that. So, but I wanted to show you that just in case, and I hope that helps.